My brothers and sisters, listen to me carefully. Look at the person sitting next to you and say, my future is not a mistake. Say it like you believe it. Say it like heaven is listening. Because what I am about to share with you is not ordinary. It is not motivational talk. It is not psychology. It is not philosophy. It is a secret. And this secret, if you practice it for just 3 days, 3 deliberate, intentional days, can change the direction of your life forever. Many people are praying for change, but they are speaking destruction. Many people are fasting for breakthrough, but they are confessing defeat. Many people are waiting for a miracle, but their words are canceling it before it arrives. Listen to me, your life moves in the direction of your strongest words, not your weakest thoughts, not your hidden fears, your strongest, most consistent words. There is power in self-talk. Some of you talk to yourselves more than you talk to anyone else. But what are you saying when you wake up in the morning and look at your reflection? What is the first message you preach to yourself? I am tired, I am unlucky, nothing works for me. And then you wonder why nothing works for you. You cannot speak darkness and expect light to appear. You cannot plant thorns and expect roses. The future you are praying for is waiting for the words you are afraid to speak. For 3 days, just 3 days, I challenge you to discipline your self-talk, not your neighbor's talk, not your family's talk, your own inner voice. Because the greatest prophet in your life is the voice you believe the most. And many of you have been believing the wrong prophet. Day 1, you must confront the lies you have accepted as truth. I am not good enough. I always fail. People like me never succeed. Who told you that? Who signed that document over your destiny? Was it written in heaven? No. It was written in fear. Fear speaks loudly, but faith speaks with authority. When negative thoughts come, and they will come, you do not entertain them. You do not negotiate with them. You answer them. When your mind says, you will fail, you say, I am equipped to overcome. When your mind says, you are weak, you say, there is strength within me. You must answer back. Some of you allow your mind to bully you, but for 3 days you must become bold. You must become spiritually aggressive. You must decide that every destructive thought will meet resistance. Do you know why this works? Because the brain follows instruction. Your spirit responds to command. Your future listens to your confession. You may not control every circumstance, but you can control the conversation within you. And that internal conversation is shaping your tomorrow. Day 2, you must replace complaint with declaration. Some of you complain as if it is a profession. You complain about the weather. You complain about the economy. You complain about your job. You complain about your past. But complaint is a seed, and every seed produces fruit. If you plant complaint, you will harvest frustration. For 3 days, I want you to catch yourself every time you are about to complain. Instead of saying, this situation is killing me, say, this situation is teaching me. Instead of saying, I am stuck, say, I am being prepared. Instead of saying, nothing is working, say, everything is aligning. You may not feel it immediately, but feelings are not leaders. Words are leaders. Feelings follow direction. If you keep speaking hope, your emotions will eventually align with hope. If you keep speaking courage, fear will begin to tremble. Many people wait to feel confident before they speak confidently. That is backwards. You speak confidence until you feel it. You speak victory until you see it. The world may call this positive thinking, but this is deeper than that. This is alignment. When your words align with possibility, doors begin to move. Day 3, you must speak your future in the present tense. Not, I will be successful. No, I am becoming successful. Not one day I will be strong. No, strength is rising within me. You bring the future into the now with your words. Some of you are waiting for permission to believe in yourselves. I give you that permission today. But more importantly, heaven gives you that permission. You were not created by accident. You were not designed to be average. There is something inside you that this world needs, but that something is suffocating under negative self-talk. You say you want peace, but you speak chaos. You say you want prosperity, but you speak lack. You say you want love, but you speak bitterness. The mouth and the heart must agree. Let me tell you something powerful. The enemy of your destiny does not always fight you with weapons. Sometimes it fights you with whispers. You cannot. You are too late. It is impossible. And if you repeat those whispers long enough, they become your truth. For 3 days, silence the whispers with declarations. Wake up in the morning and say, "Today, I walk in purpose." Before you sleep, say, "I am growing even when I cannot see it." When challenges appear, say, "This is not the end of me." Do not underestimate these words. Words are containers of power. They carry energy. They carry direction. When you speak, you are sending instructions to your mind, to your spirit, and even to your environment. There are people who changed their entire trajectory, not because something outside shifted, but because something inside shifted. And that shift began with words. Some of you are one disciplined decision away from transformation, not 10 years away, not 5 years away, one decision away. For 3 days, guard your mouth like you guard your money. Guard your thoughts like you guard your reputation. Be intentional. Be watchful. Be alert. You will notice something. On the first day, it will feel unnatural. On the second day, it will feel challenging. On the third day, something will begin to break. A heaviness will lift. A clarity will rise. A strength you did not know you had will begin to surface. Because you are reprogramming yourself, the world has programmed many of you with limitation. Your past has programmed you with doubt. Other people's opinions have programmed you with insecurity. But for 3 days you take control of the programming. You tell yourself, "I am capable." You tell yourself, "I am learning." You tell yourself, "I am not defined by my mistakes." Mistakes are events. They are not identities. Failure is an experience. It is not a name. Do not call yourself what you went through. Call yourself what you are becoming. There is someone here who believes it is too late. Too late to start again. Too late to dream again. Too late to try again. Listen to me, as long as you are breathing, it is not too late. Your story is not finished. The pen is still in your hand. But you must change the narrative. For 3 days, eliminate self-insults. No more "I am stupid." No more "I am useless." No more "I always mess things up." Even as a joke, do not say it. Because the mind does not know when you are joking. It records everything. Instead, say, "I am improving." Say, "I am learning." Say, "I am evolving." You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You have survived things that once threatened to break you. You have endured storms that once looked permanent. Why then do you speak as if you are fragile? There is resilience inside you. There is wisdom inside you. There is potential inside you. But potential needs permission. And that permission comes from belief. And belief is reinforced by words. For 3 days, let your self-talk become your ally, not your enemy. When you fall, say, "I rise again." When you are rejected, say, "Redirection is happening." When you are delayed, say, "Preparation is in progress." Do you understand what I am saying? You are not denying reality. You are redefining it. You are choosing interpretation over intimidation. Life will still present challenges, but your response will change. And when your response changes, your results begin to change. People will ask you, "What happened to you?" And you will say, "I changed the conversation within." You do not need a crowd to start this. You do not need applause. You do not need validation. You need discipline. 3 days of disciplined self-talk can interrupt years of negative momentum. Imagine what would happen if, instead of replaying your worst moments, you rehearsed your best possibilities. Imagine if, instead of expecting disappointment, you anticipated growth. Imagine if, instead of saying, "I hope things get better," you declared, "I am moving toward better." Hope is good. But declaration is powerful. I want you to leave here today with a commitment, not to me, to yourself. For 3 days, you will monitor your words. For 3 days, you will correct negativity immediately. For 3 days, you will speak life over your own existence. And when doubt tries to return, and it will try, you will say, not today. Because your future is sensitive to your speech. Some breakthroughs are waiting for alignment. Some doors are waiting for confidence. Some opportunities are waiting for courage. Speak courage. Speak clarity. Speak growth. Do not say, I am stuck. Say, I am in transition. Do not say, I am lost. Say, I am discovering. Do not say, I am finished. Say, I am just beginning. Language shapes perception. Perception shapes action. Action shapes destiny. 3 days. That is all I am asking. 3 days of intentional, empowering self-talk. 3 days of replacing defeat with determination. 3 days of speaking as if your life has value, because it does. You are not here by accident. You are not breathing by coincidence. There is purpose attached to you. There is assignment attached to you. And your words must cooperate with that assignment. Open your mouth and agree with possibility. Open your mouth and agree with progress. Open your mouth and agree with strength. Say to yourself, even now, my future is responding to my voice. Say it again. My future is responding to my voice. If you believe that, then guard that voice. Train that voice. Empower that voice. 3 days can begin a transformation that lasts a lifetime. The secret is simple, but it is not easy. It requires awareness. It requires discipline. It requires faith in the unseen process. But if you commit to it, you will look back and say, everything changed when I changed my words. And when your words change, your thoughts change. When your thoughts change, your actions change. When your actions change, your habits change. When your habits change, your life changes. This is your moment. This is your opportunity. This is your turning point. For 3 days, speak life. For 3 days, speak strength. For 3 days, speak the future you desire, and watch what begins to shift. Your tomorrow is listening. Your destiny is waiting. Now rise in your heart and declare, I will speak life. I will speak growth. I will speak victory. And let that declaration mark the beginning of a new chapter. 3 days. That is the secret. And your future will never be the same. The future listens to the language you repeat. Hear that deeply. Not the language you speak once. Not the language you speak when you are emotional. The language you repeat. The words you say over and over again when no one is watching, when no one is correcting you, when no one is applauding you. That language is shaping something. That language is constructing something. That language is inviting something. Many people think the future is controlled by luck, by connections, by background, by chance. But there is a conversation happening every single day inside you, and that conversation is laying bricks for tomorrow. You may not see it with your eyes, but it is happening. You may not feel it immediately, but it is working. When you constantly repeat, I am unlucky, your mind begins to search for proof that you are unlucky. When you repeat, nothing works for me, your perception becomes trained to notice only what is not working. When you repeat, I always fail, your confidence weakens before you even attempt anything. The future listens because your repeated language becomes belief, and belief becomes behavior, and behavior becomes result. Repetition is powerful. It is how you learned your name. It is how you learned your language. It is how you learned your fears. Nobody wakes up one day suddenly afraid without having repeated a story about that fear. Nobody wakes up one day confident without having rehearsed a story of strength. What are you rehearsing? Some of you are rehearsing disappointment every day. You wake up and immediately say, today will be stressful. You look at your tasks and say, this is too much for me. You think about your dreams and say, people like me don't reach that level. And you repeat it again and again until it sounds normal, until it feels true. The future does not argue with your repeated language. It aligns with it. If you say, I am not good with money, and you repeat it for years, your decisions will match that statement. You will avoid learning. You will avoid responsibility. You will justify poor habits. And then you will say, see, I told you I am not good with money. But it was not destiny, it was repetition. If you say, I am always overlooked, you will enter rooms already shrinking. You will speak softly. You will hesitate. You will assume rejection before it happens. And even when opportunities come, you may not recognize them because your repeated language has trained you to expect invisibility. The future listens to what you repeat because repetition builds identity. Identity is not formed by one event. It is formed by consistent internal dialogue. You tell yourself who you are every day. You tell yourself what you deserve every day. You tell yourself what is possible for you every day. And slowly, quietly, your life begins to match that script. If you repeat, I am growing, you begin to notice growth. If you repeat, I can learn, you become teachable. If you repeat, this challenge is shaping me, you approach difficulty with resilience. The words you repeat do not just echo in your mind, they influence your posture, your tone, your decisions, your persistence. Some people repeat language of limitation because it feels safe. If you say, I can't, you never risk proving yourself wrong. If you say, it won't work, you never have to face the fear of trying. Limiting language becomes a shield, but that shield also blocks opportunity. The future listens without emotion. It responds to patterns, and repetition creates patterns. Think about this: when you were younger and someone called you something repeatedly, whether positive or negative, it started to shape how you saw yourself. If you were told repeatedly, you are smart, you approached learning with confidence. If you were told repeatedly, you are difficult, you may have started behaving defensively. Repetition sinks deep. Now imagine what happens when you are the one doing the repeating. When you call yourself incapable every day, your nervous system reacts as if it is true. Your energy drops. Your creativity shrinks. Your willingness fades. But when you call yourself capable every day, even before you feel it fully, your mind begins to search for evidence to support that claim. The brain loves consistency. It wants your actions to match your repeated language. If you say, I am disciplined, and you repeat it daily, you will feel a subtle discomfort when you act lazily. That discomfort pushes you toward alignment. If you say, I am careless, you will feel comfortable acting carelessly because it matches your repeated identity. The future listens to the language you repeat because repetition trains expectation. Expectation is powerful. If you expect rejection, you interpret neutral behavior as rejection. If you expect success, you interpret obstacles as temporary. Two people can face the same setback. One says, this proves I am not meant for this. The other says, this is part of the journey. The difference is not talent, it is repeated language. Some of you have repeated the language of your worst moment for years. You failed once and now you say, I am a failure. You were rejected once and now you say, I am undesirable. You made a mistake once and now you say, I ruin everything. And you repeat it until it becomes your personal truth. But a moment is not a definition. When you repeat a distorted story, you distort your future. The future listens to consistency. It listens to the dominant message. If every day you wake up and say, I am behind, you will live in constant comparison. You will rush unnecessarily. You will feel inadequate even when you are progressing. But if you repeat, I am on my path, you will move with focus. You will measure growth against yourself, not against others. The language you repeat also affects how others respond to you. If you constantly say, I'm bad at this, people will hesitate to trust you with responsibility. If you constantly say, I'm learning and improving, people will see potential. Your repeated language influences your reputation. Even your body listens. When you repeat stressful, catastrophic language, your body responds with tension. When you repeat calm, empowering language, your body relaxes. Over time, your physical state reflects your dominant inner dialogue. Repetition is like watering a plant. Whatever you water grows. If you water doubt daily, doubt becomes strong. If you water courage daily, courage becomes natural. Some people wait for external evidence before changing their language. They say, when I succeed, I will speak confidently. But success often follows confident repetition. You speak it before you see it, not as fantasy, but as commitment. You align your words with the direction you want to move. If you want to become resilient, repeat resilient language. I can handle this. I adapt. I recover. At first it may feel forced, but repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds comfort. If you want to become focused, repeat focused language. I prioritize what matters. I finish what I start. Each time you repeat it, you are strengthening a neural pathway. You are teaching your mind what to normalize. The future listens to what becomes normal to you. If chaos is normal in your language, stability will feel strange. If peace is normal in your language, drama will feel uncomfortable. You train your tolerance through repetition. Be careful with jokes about yourself. When you repeatedly say, I'm so lazy, even in humor, your mind does not separate joke from identity. It records repetition. It stores it. It uses it. The language you repeat becomes the lens through which you interpret everything. If you repeat, people can't be trusted, you will see betrayal everywhere. If you repeat, there are good people in the world, you will notice kindness. Your focus follows your repetition. Changing your future does not always start with a dramatic action. It often starts with a subtle shift in repeated language. Instead of, why does this always happen to me? You repeat, what can I learn from this? Instead of, I can't do this, you repeat, I can take one step. The key is repetition. Once is inspiration, twice is intention. Repetition is transformation. If you repeat empowering language only when you feel motivated, it will not stick. You must repeat it when you are tired. Repeat it when you are discouraged. Repeat it when evidence seems absent. Consistency is what makes the future listen. Some people repeat fear so often that it sounds like wisdom. They say, I'm just being realistic. But realism without hope becomes limitation. If your realism always ends in defeat, it is not realism, it is conditioning. The future listens to dominant language. If 90% of your self-talk is negative and 10% is positive, the negative will win. You cannot whisper belief and shout doubt. This is not about ignoring problems, it is about choosing constructive language. Instead of repeating, this is impossible, repeat, this is challenging, but possible. Instead of, I always mess up, repeat, I am refining my approach. Language directs effort. If you say, there's no point, you stop trying. If you say, there's a way, you start searching. Your children, your friends, your colleagues often mirror the language you repeat. If you repeat hope, you spread hope. If you repeat cynicism, you spread discouragement. The future is not only personal, it is relational. You become what you repeatedly declare. If you want a future of strength, repeat strength. If you want a future of clarity, repeat clarity. If you want a future of growth, repeat growth. You do not need to exaggerate. You need to be intentional. Catch yourself in repetition. Listen to the phrases that leave your mouth daily. I am exhausted. I am overwhelmed. I hate my life. These may reflect real feelings, but when repeated constantly, they shape identity. Replace them with language that allows movement. I need rest. I am managing one step at a time. I am redesigning my life. These statements open possibility. The future listens because repetition builds momentum. Momentum in thought leads to momentum in action. Momentum in action leads to visible change. Do not underestimate small, repeated phrases. A single drop of water seems harmless, but repeated drops carve stone. Your repeated language is carving your character. If you spend years repeating limitation, change will require new repetition. It may feel unnatural at first because you are creating a new groove. but persistence rewires. Speak to yourself as if your words matter, because they do. Speak as if someone important is listening, because your future is listening. Every day, you are either reinforcing the past or constructing the future through repeated language. If you keep repeating stories of hurt, you relive them. If you start repeating stories of healing, you move toward them. Your repeated language determines what you notice, what you attempt, what you tolerate, and what you believe you deserve. It shapes your standards. It shapes your boundaries. It shapes your courage. If you repeat, "This is the best I can do," you stop stretching. If you repeat, "I can improve," you remain open. The future aligns with openness. Examine your most common phrases. They are clues. They reveal the direction you are heading. If your most common phrases are filled with doubt, your direction is hesitation. If they are filled with resolve, your direction is progress. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control what you repeat, and what you repeat becomes powerful. The future is not only built by grand decisions, it is built by daily declarations. It is built by quiet repetition in ordinary moments. It is built by the sentences you whisper when you think no one hears, but something hears. Your mind hears, your body hears, your behavior hears. And your future listens to the language you repeat.